Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is a 60-minute challenging yoga conditioning class for your hips, your core and glute muscles in your buttocks. And class moves flow through a range of strengthening poses as well as lengthening postures. So hopefully by the end of the class you feel wonderfully open in the hips and really strong and centered. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And begin your practice laying down on the mat and taking your feet to the floor. Walk your feet away from one another and simply knock the knees in toward each other. Rest the head back and lay your hands in any comfortable position, either on your body, by your side, or catch opposite elbows overhead. And just shuffle around, wriggle out any restlessness from your body and find symmetry left and right side of your body so you feel level through the hips, through the shoulders, and a long neat line through the spine. Gently close the eyes and take a few moments to simply arrive on your mat, in your body, and settling your gaze toward your third eye and resting your awareness on your breath. And give yourself a few exaggerated breaths in and out. And let this posture and the start of your practice feel restorative, easeful. Begin to deepen your breath. And let the quality of your breath smooth out. You can count your breath out here, breathing in for the count of 4, holding for the count of 2, breathe out for the count of 4, hold and pause for the count of 2. Establishing a smooth, even rhythm to your breath. And as your breath comes into balance, start to breathe your Ujjayi breath. Gentle constriction in the back of the throat. Ocean-like sound to your breath, audible. And if you were counting your breath, just breaking away from counting your breath. And preparing to move. One more deep breath in and out. And start to walk the feet together and bring the knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a hug. Keep your head resting back, relaxed in the throat and the jaw, so there's a nice soft energy around the top of your body. And we'll just come into a sensible happy baby to start our practice. Take your hands to the outside of your feet and bend the knees down toward your armpits. Your knees wider than your torso. Soles of the feet point toward the ceiling, toes flexed. And softening the crease of your hips there. And deep breath in and out. And then just place your left foot down to the floor, Keep a hold of your right foot, half happy baby. And we'll start to encourage some warmth into the right hip. So in half happy baby, try and get the feeling you're pushing up with your heel at the same time drawing your knee down toward your armpit. So there's a bit of resistance there, and you'll feel some warmth start to gather around the top of the right hip. Try and stay relaxed in the upper body and your breath smooth, sustainable. And then from here, just gently release and come into eagle legs, wrapping your right leg over the top of the left leg. And either just squeezing the calves together there, or if you can, and it's accessible, hook your right foot underneath your left leg. And then angle your toes in. Squeeze the legs together. So you're really activating the leg muscles, and you can feel the outer thighs working for you. Hug everything in toward the midline. And then from here we take eagle arms. Left arm on top, right arm under. And if that's not possible for you, just catch opposite shoulders, and we'll move towards some very slow abdominal work. So the slower you move here, the more you'll feel the work in your abdominals. So we're going to squeeze everything in toward each other and tap elbows to knees. And then as you breathe in, tap your toes to the floor and your fingertips behind you, lengthening away. And then just slowly start to move between the two. Squeezing in, abdominals engage, and then reaching away. And just stay with that movement, breathing smooth. Keep squeezing the legs together actively. And then we'll go to double tap. So as you reach back, double tap, and then squeeze in. Double tap, squeeze in. It's an exhale as you come together, an inhale as you reach away. If you'd like to make it a little stronger, reach the legs away rather than tapping the toes to the floor. And we've just got two more here. And gently release. Both feet back to the floor, half happy baby on your left side. Drawing your knee down toward your armpit, sole of the foot points up toward the ceiling, and then that isometric movement of actively pressing the heel up toward the ceiling, at the same time drawing the knee down. Just a bit of resistance into your hands and the foot into your hand. And try not to fall off center here. Keep that back of the right buttocks down on the mat. And then go ahead, wrap the legs, left leg over the top of the right leg, and find your version of eagle legs. Angle your toes in, your heels out, and squeeze the legs together actively. Let the outer hip muscles work for you here, outer thighs. And then go ahead, wrap your arms, right arm on top, left arm under, lifting up onto the low part of the shoulder blades. Squeeze everything in together and then reach away, tapping toes to the floor, fingertips to the floor, and squeeze in. Stay with that sequence. So active through the legs, rhythmic breath, and an exhale as you curl in. And then move to your double taps, or reach away, make it a little bit more stronger if you need it here. Double tap and squeeze in. Just a few more here. And release. Unwrap the legs, rest your head back, and really relax across the throat, your jaw, and your upper body. And then once more, lift your head and your heart. So you're looking forward, resting on the low part of the shoulder blades, Draw your right knee in toward your chest, extend the left leg away. Left leg away to about 45 degrees. If you need to ease off a little, you can have the left leg a little higher toward the ceiling. If you'd like to make it stronger, lower and closer toward the floor. As you breathe in, straighten your right leg, send your arms overhead. And as you exhale, catch the right knee back in toward your chest. And then just stay with that sequence. So you can make this a gentler movement by resting your head back and just moving your legs, or you can take your arms out wide to the side and your left leg would be a little higher. Moving at your own pace. Last two. Both knees in, rest your head back. And you can roll on the back of your head just to release through the neck. So we're not building tension there. And always a good tip when you're doing abdominal work on your back is try to keep the gaze up, your chest open so you're not in deep flexion through the neck. And now we take the left knee in toward our chest, right leg out at the angle that suits you. And as you breathe in, extend your left leg to meet the right, arms overhead, and then catch back in. And then just pick up the pace. Any pace that suits you, move with your breath. So warming up the abdominal muscles as well as the hips and the legs here. Bringing some circulation to the lower half of our body. Last one. And bring the knees in toward your chest, rest your head back, and if you like that, roll on the back of your head just to release your neck. And from here, take both feet to the floor, set up for a bridge pose. We'll do some variations. Arms alongside your body, heels quite close to your buttocks. Feet parallel and hip width apart. Take a deep breath in here on your back. As you exhale, firm your belly and then raise the hips. You want to find a uniform arch through your spine that you can sustain with your steady breath. From here, raise the right knee and draw the right knee in toward you, and then extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. So try and keep the hips raised and level. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your right leg to meet the level of your left knee, and then lift up and lower. And stay with that sequence. So your abdominals need to switch on here to help support you, as well as your left glute muscles, your buttocks muscles, and the hamstring muscles. All good work for the hips. And next time you find that your right leg is reaching for the ceiling, keep it there, flex your toes, keep lifted through the hips, and take your right leg out to the side and then back to center. So you needn't take it out too far there, just try and maintain the control of the leg. So your abdominals are working here. Light inner thigh stretch. Nearly there. And last one for the sequence, bring the right leg straight up toward the ceiling. Keep the hips lifted. And then little pulses, lifting up, squeezing the buttocks and lowering. So just little pulses, flexed toes on your right foot, pushing down through the heel of your left foot to lift. Rest coming up. And taking the right foot to the floor, slowly lower down through your spine. And take the knees in toward your chest. Little rock side to side, press the low back into the mat. Both feet to the floor, setting up for the second side. So just make sure that you place your feet hip distance apart. Heels are quite close to the buttocks there. Align your spine into a neat line. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, firm the belly. And inhale, lift the hips. Just in your comfortable range of motion. And now pressing down through the back of your arms, the back of your head, raise the left knee, bring it in toward your chest, flex your toes and reach the left heel up toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your left leg, and then lift. And just stay with that sequence, and you'll start to feel the warmth travel into your right buttocks. Just balancing out, breathing smooth. And next time you find that your left leg comes straight up toward the ceiling, hold it there. Toes are flexed, so your legs are engaged, quadriceps engaged. Take the left leg out to the side, just a little so you don't throw yourself off balance, and back toward the ceiling. Nice controlled movement. And then when your left leg's up, little pulses, kick up through your heel. Keep supporting that action with a squeeze of your right buttocks. Nearly there. This is the last one in the sequence. And place the left foot down to the floor and slowly peel down through your spine. And then hug the knees in toward your chest. Both feet to the floor. Keeping the left foot on the floor, take a hip groin stretch here, your right ankle to your left knee. Thread your hands behind the back of your left knee, draw the left knee in toward you. Try and flex your right toes, so the opposite of pointing there, and find a comfortable external rotation to your right hip. Head rests back if you can, shoulders stay relaxed. And that should feel sweet on the outer right buttocks now, just balancing out. Having worked those muscles, we are stretching, and the stretch feels so much sweeter once you've worked them. We'll take 2 more smooth breaths in and out here. And gently releasing, we're just going to switch over to the other side. Left ankle, right knee, toes flexed. And draw the right knee in toward you. Find a comfortable position for your head. Try not to strain here. You're just gently guiding the left hip away from you. Drawing your right knee in toward you. And there's a bit of an isometric movement here as well. You're putting a little bit of pressure into the hands with the back of your leg and then resisting. And we'll take 2 more smooth breaths in and out. And release. Both feet to the floor here. And from here we're just simply going to roll to our right side and drag yourself upright. And we're going to come to kneel. If you'd like some extra support, you can place a blanket underneath your knees. We're going to take the hips above the knees. And then the arms forward at shoulder height, palms face down. So press into your shins and the tops of your feet, and your knees are hip distance apart. Keep the gaze forward, your chest really open here. Draw the front ribs in, abdominals engaged, deep breath in. And as you exhale, lean back and then come back to center. So as you lean back, firm the belly. So it's quite an active exhale. Come back any amount that you feel comfortable with. And we'll take 3 more. And back to center. And just taking the hands to the floor and make your way onto all fours. And place your hands shoulder distance apart, really spread out through your fingers. And in this next sequence, try and keep full contact with the mat with your hands. So just shifting your left knee a little more toward the midline of your mat. Take your right knee out to the side so the leg stays bent and it's fire hydrant. So you're almost just bringing the knee up to the level of your hip or a little lower, not higher. And then gently squeeze in. And then lift and lower over to your right. Now you might find the weight draw ends up landing a little more on the left. See if you can balance out through the hands as you stay with this sequence. You'll feel your outer hips working here for you. And keep the movement controlled so you've got less momentum, just more controlled movement. And then next time your right knee's out to the side, hold it there, flex your toes and pulse here. So little pulses up and down. And stay with it. And then from here we're going to circle the knee. So keep the knee bent and just take big wide circles through your hips. And again, check in with your hands, all the base knuckles of your fingers pressing into the mat equally and evenly. Go ahead, circle back the other way, lifting, circling round. And then come back to center, extend your right leg out behind you. Now modification here is just to take the right toes to the floor as we prepare to balance. Hips are level, left arm reaches forward. Balance here, engage your abdominal core, feel for balance across your hips and stretch from your heel all the way to the edge of your front fingers. Deep breath in. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Keep the right leg lifted, shift your heart through your arms, take a low push up to a hover, press back up. Tuck your left toes and make your way into down dog splits with your right leg lifting. Deep breath in here. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward to come into lizard pose. If your right heel doesn't quite make it up toward your hands, just help it along there. Make sure you put a long stride from the back of your right heel toward your left knee. Left knee settles down to the floor. Hands on the inside of your front foot. Squeeze your upper knee, right knee to your upper right arm. And then you can either pause here or take some gentle movement through your hip. And that might feel nice after all that work in the outer hip and glute muscles. If you've circled one way, circle back the other way. And then reframe your front foot. Step quietly back to downward dog. Knees can be deeply bent. We're just transitioning. And then come back onto all fours for the second side. And at this point you might be feeling that this is why you do yoga and not Pilates, but we've only got one more sequence to go. So we take our right knee toward the midline of the mat, even pressure in the hands. And taking the left knee out to the side. Just find that perfect height for your hip where you don't throw your hips out of balance. And then just squeeze in. So you're just lifting and squeezing in. Move slow in time with your breath. So just making our way around the hips. Outer hips and glute muscles working here. And then next time your left knee's out to the side, little pulses, flex your toes. Little pulse, doesn't have to be a large movement. Even pressure in the hands, keep the gaze forward or slightly forward and down. And then circle your knee. So nice large circles, bringing some fluidity to the hips, and then circle back the other way. Extend your left leg out straight behind you with your hips level, and then bring your chest forward, rocking forward and then lower for a push-up, just to a hover. Push back up, high push-up. Tuck your right toes, down dog splits with your left leg lifting. Breathe in here. As you exhale, step the left foot forward for lizard pose. Help it along. Make sure you've got a long stride there between your heel and the back knee. Back knee drops down to the floor, hands on the inside of your front foot. And then some circles, or stay a little still, whatever feels good. And come back to center. And with your hands on the inside of your front foot here, we're simply going to step up to the top edge of the mat to come into squat, malasana. So feet are on the outside of your hands, and gently sit back on the calves. Hands to prayer at your heart center. If your knees don't like deep flexion, sit a little higher, be a little bit more elevated. We're not here for long. And if you are deeper into this posture, elbows press to the inner knees, knees resist. Lengthening up through your spine. And then take your fingertips to the floor. Toe heel your feet so they come hip distance apart. Slide the hands up to the shins, take a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, nice slow fold. You can catch opposite elbows. Bend the knees deeply here so your torso sits on your thighs. Sit bones spread and point up toward the ceiling. Crown of the head points down toward the floor. Take a moment, a few breaths. You're releasing your hands to the floor, and with a soft bend in the knees, slowly rise up to stand, reach your arms overhead, and then bring your hands to your heart center to prayer. 2 half forward folds with your feet hip width apart, arms rise overhead, breathe in, exhale forward fold. Inhale Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, refold over the legs. Rise to stand, pushing down through your feet as you rise, arms up, eyes up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more round just like that. Breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand, nice strong legs flat back as you rise. Rest your hands to your heart center. Toe heel your feet together, big toes to touch. Inhale, arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, step your right foot back, right knee to the floor. Keep your fingertips on the floor here, low lunge, and we're just lingering here for a few breaths, making sure your left knee is over your ankle. You've got a diagonal line from your right hip to your right knee. Nice hip flexor stretch, getting into the psoas muscles without too much of an arc through the spine. So nice neutral spine, diagonal line, all the way to the back of your skull from the tailbone. And then go ahead, plant your hands down here and step quietly back to downward facing dog. Ripple forward to your high push-up. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, firm the belly and your legs. Lightly gaze forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest and chin to the floor. Lower all the way to your belly. Take the fingertips off the side edges of your mat. Elbows up. Peel up. Low baby cobra. Legs engaged. Heels face up. Exhale, peel down. We'll do that 2 more times. Just feeling for a comfortable arch through your spine as you peel up and lower down. Move with your breath. Last one, breathe in, breathe out. Hands around your ribs, elbows point back. Use your core strength to lift onto all fours. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We'll keep it rolling. Toes come together, back of the mat. Right leg rises as you breathe in. Step your right foot forward now to runner's lunge. Right foot in between your hands and the left knee stays lifting. Fingertips stay on the floor and you can rock a little forward and back. Keep your chest open so the collarbones are smiling open here. You feel long and extended through the back of your neck and all the way down your spine. Just gently rocking forward and back on the toes of your back foot. And preparing to move, stepping your back foot forward to meet the front foot. Take a halfway lift when your toes are together. Exhale and forward fold, let go, empty the lungs. Rise to stand on your in-breath. Hands to your heart on your out-breath. Arms circle overhead, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, extending your spine. Fingertips down, left foot steps back. Take your low lunge. Keep the fingertips on the floor, left knee to the floor. You can lengthen your stride once your knee's down by just wriggling your left knee back. Right knee is directly over your ankle here. And just pause, breathe here. And again, there's an isometric movement here where your front heel is trying to drag toward the back edge of your mat while the left knee is trying to move forward toward the front edge of the mat. So the legs are very strongly engaged here. Then go ahead, plant the hands, step quietly back to downward facing dog. Ripple forward to a high push-up and take a low push-up to the floor, either full push-up or knees, chest, chin if you'd like to modify. Fingertips off the side edges of your mat, forward if you need a little bit more space, elbows up, breathe in, cobra pose, peel down. We've got 2 more just like that. Expanding on your in-breath, firm belly on your out-breath. Last one. Slide the hands back around your ribs and coming up onto all fours, pressing back, downward facing dog. Bring your toes together, back edge of the mat. Left leg rises as you breathe in. Step the left foot forward to runner's lunge as you breathe out. Making sure the left knee arrives over the ankle. If it doesn't, just shift your left heel forward. Back knee stays off the floor. You can come onto your fingertips here and just a gentle rock forward and back. So you should be able to feel a little bit of warmth in your hips now. We're going to keep building that heat. And you won't believe how open your hips will feel at the end of this class. We're working on strength as well as flexibility here, so you can restore your range of motion, just feel really good in the hips. All right, ready to move. Stepping forward, top edge of the mat. Bring the toes together, halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand on your in-breath. Hands to your heart on your out-breath. 1 round, Surya Namaskar A. Arms rise overhead, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high push-up. Make your way to a low push-up. Place yourself on the floor, a cobra pose, just a regular one here, elbows back, chest forward, ribs forward, and exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your toes together at the back of the mat, reach your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Exhale, core lunge in the air, knee straight in toward your nose, round the spine. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, and exhale, right knee to your upper right arm, round the spine, hug the belly. Inhale, reach back, down dog splits. Exhale, cross-legged lunge in the air, right knee, upper left elbow, squeeze in, round up, push into the hands. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, step quietly forward for your high lunge. Before you take your fingertips off the floor, set your feet up hip distance apart. Rise up in your own time, no rush. And if you need to, hands to the hips to steady yourself before reaching your arms up alongside your ears. This is a really slow sequence, so just take your time to get settled. Your front heel pressing into the mat to keep you steady. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, float the arms back and bring your left knee to meet your right, bending your knee. Inhale, slowly step back, high lunge, arms rise, and we'll do that twice more. Arms back, knee to greet your right knee. Step back, high lunge, landing lightly, firm belly, arms back, knee in to meet your right knee. Step back for your high lunge with control, or as much control as you can gather. Take a deep breath in and exhale, open out, warrior two. Land the whole sole of your back foot down, pinky toe side of your foot firmly anchored. Front knee tracks forward to 12 o'clock. So just make sure you can see your toes off the front ledge of your knee, torso upright, armpits over your hips, wrists over your ankles. And then firm your arm muscles, the back one as well as the front one. Send your gaze forward. Take a deep lunge through the front leg. Gaze falls softly over your right middle finger. And keeping the legs where they are, nice and firm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach the right arm up and back. Left arm slides down the back leg. And as you exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and this time straighten your front leg. Quadriceps engage. And as you exhale, come into a variation on triangle. Reach your right arm forward, parallel with the floor, left arm straight up. So you make an L shape with your arms. Hinge over any amount over the midline of your front leg. Your abdominals need to work quite strongly here to support you along with your legs. Keep pushing down through your feet so you have an upward energy running up the legs. Breathe. And two more deep breaths, in and out. And then send your gaze down, take your hands down, bend in the front knees, step lightly back to downward facing dog. If you need to take rest here, pause, linger here, otherwise a flow, rippling forward to a high push-up. Exhale, low push-up, no rush, upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take a moment, separate your feet, take a long stride between the back of your hands and your toes so you feel a big full back body stretch. Arm muscles engaged, shoulder blades broad in your upper back, your head, your neck relaxed. Step your toes together here at the back of the mat, raising the left leg up and back as you breathe in. As you exhale, left knee in toward your nose, straight down the middle, round the spine. Inhale, reach back, down dog splits. Exhale, left knee to your upper left elbow. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, cross-legged lunge in the air. Breathe in, down dog splits. Exhale, set up for high lunge. Left foot steps forward between your hands. And make sure your feet are hip distance apart here before you rise up. And take your time. It might be helpful here to have a little bend in the back knee so you can really feel your pelvis in a neutral position, the front of your pelvis lifting up, lower abdominal core engaged. Chest expanding, arms reaching, and then really feel the weight in your front foot, in your heel. Spread your toes so you've got a wide base of support. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, float the arms back and bring your right knee to meet your left knee. As you inhale, slowly step back, high lunge, arms rise. Exhale, right knee to your left knee, both knees bend. Inhale back to high lunge, step quietly back. And exhale one more time, knee to knee, squeeze in through the abs. Inhale, step back to your high lunge, find your feet. And as you exhale, open out, warrior two. And find a deep stride between the legs, heel to heel alignment or heel to arch alignment. Guiding your left knee toward the middle toes, so your left knee's not rolling in. Inner thighs stretching toward your knees. Descend the hips down so you find a deep right angle through the front leg. A steady gaze. Sustainable breath. Keep the legs where they are. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, back to warrior two. If you can, lunge a little deeper. Inhale, reverse, and as you go, straighten through the front leg. Reach up and back, nice lateral stretch here. And as you exhale, come into this variation of triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left arm reaches forward, palms face up, right arm straight up toward the ceiling. Your torso's on a lateral plane, so your chest stays open, pointing outwards along with your belly button. Legs stay really strong here, firmly engaged. Breathe deep. And then eyes down, take your hands down, bend in the front knee, step quietly back to downward facing dog. Take a flow here or rest and pause. Forward to high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Upward dog or cobra, a back bend of your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take about 5 to 8 breaths. If you'd like to, you can take your knees to the floor, your buttocks to your heels to rest. And a few long exhales just to help you clear out and reset. Let your gaze fall steady. And bringing your toes together here at the back edge of your mat, raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Shift forward to a high push-up as you breathe out, a 3-point plank. Take a deep breath in. We're going to take a low push-up just through a hover, and then press back up, high push-up, down dog splits, breathe in. As you exhale, right foot forward in between your hands to set up for pyramid pose. So stay on the balls of your back toes. It's a variation here. Feet are hip width apart. And when you're steady here, take a halfway lift. Fingertips may stay on the floor, or you might need to run your hands up your leg to get that nice feeling of an extended spine. And then when you're ready, fold forward over the midline of your front leg. Keep the weight down in your big toe mound and your inner heel of your right foot. Perhaps a little micro bend in the front knee, but your back leg stays really strong. You can be right up on the balls of the back toes, or you can extend the heel down toward the floor. Just enjoy the stretch. Level out through your hips. And then from here, creep the fingertips forward off the top edge of your mat. So you might need to bend your right knee to arrive there so you feel comfortable and stable. Raise the left leg up. So you come into a standing half splits here. Those of you who are more flexible, please feel free to take that left leg a little higher, pointing the toes. We're going to stay on the fingertips here. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're coming into a shiva squat, a little bit different to the last one we did. The left knee comes behind the right knee and you bend both knees and the hips descend. As you inhale, straighten the left leg up behind you, any amount. And as you exhale, shiva squat. And breathe in, reach back. Breathe out, shiva squat. One more time, reach the left leg up. And as you exhale, take that left knee behind your right knee and come all the way down to sit. So you arrive in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now if you've arrived and you're seated and you feel really awkward, your left leg could extend out straight in front of you. With your left leg out straight, your right foot is over the top and to the outside of the left leg. If you're comfortable, your left heel's in toward your buttocks. And from here, we're going to take a twist. So right fingertips behind you, left hand reaches up for the ceiling and you lengthen through your spine as you press into your sit bones. And as you exhale, hinge your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. So you might like to stay here if you feel like you're getting a nice, strong, accessible twist. Otherwise, you can take your hands to prayer here. So as you take your hands to prayer, there's a straight line, elbow to elbow, and you're moving your sternum toward your thumbs to deepen the twist. Breathe here. Gaze could be out to one side or over your right shoulder. Try stay very upright through both sides of the waist. Keep your breath deep around the middle of your rib cage and your upper back. Eyes forward as you breathe in. And unravel the legs. Place the feet to the floor, knees bent. Take your hands behind you to set up for tabletop. Fingertips point toward your buttocks. Light bend in the elbows. Feet are hip width apart. When you're ready, raise the hips. So you're balancing on your hands and your feet there. And it might feel comfortable for you if you don't have any issues in your neck, just to drop the head back. Squeezing lightly through your glute muscles, pressing evenly into your feet. Thighs stay parallel, almost squeezing toward one another. Deep breath in, exhale, chin toward the chest, and lower yourself all the way down. Cross your legs in front of you and make your way back to downward facing dog. Ripple forward to a high push-up. Exhale, low push-up, upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Bring your toes together here at the back of your mat. Raise the left leg up and back as you breathe in. Shift forward to a high push-up, 3-point plank, breathe out. Lower to a low push-up. Press back up, strong core, high push-up. Down dog splits as you breathe in. Step the left foot forward in between your hands to set up for pyramid pose. So staying on the balls of your back toes, feet are hip width apart. Take a halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold over the midline of your front leg. So try and draw the left thigh bone back as you roll your right hip forward, balancing out through the pelvis. Keep your back leg strong and engaged. And pressing down through now your left big toe, left inner heel. See if you can broaden your collarbones just a little bit more. Feel the shoulder blades slide toward the midline of your back. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. And then walking your fingertips off the front edge of your mat, so we prepare for standing splits. Balancing on your fingertips, raise the right leg. So right leg might just hover, might come up to hip height, or you might be able to take it further. Your breath is your best guide here, so a sustainable, even, rhythmic breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, shiva squat. So your right knee comes now behind the left knee and you bend both knees to lower the hips. Inhale, reach up and back, standing splits. Exhale, lower the hips, bend the knees. Inhale, reach back. So your right knee is coming all the way behind the left knee over to the left side. Reach up, breathe in. And as you exhale, left knee to the outside of that front leg and go ahead, sit down in Ardha Matsyendrasana. So half Lord of the Fish pose, it's a twist. So you might need to troubleshoot here. If it's more comfortable for you, take that right leg straight out in front of you if you feel too twisted up. If you do take the legs straight, flex your toes toward the ceiling, and we just take our twist from here. Left fingertips behind you, right hand to the sky, breathe in. And as you exhale, hinge your right elbow now to the outside of your left knee. And this might be a comfortable twist for you. Adjust if you need to. You can hug the front knee if that feels more comfortable, or you can take your hands into prayer. And sometimes just taking your hands into prayer gives you that resistance between the palms to spread and open through your upper chest. So you feel very uplifted, your breath, lungs are available to breathe. And eyes forward as you breathe in. Unravel everything as you breathe out. Take both feet to the floor. Fingertips and hands behind you, pointing toward your buttocks. So you can repeat tabletop here. If you feel like you've got a little bit more upper body strength, core strength, there's a variation that we can take. So as you come up into your tabletop, either stay there, any version, or as you breathe out, if you can, swing your hips back between your arms, hovering your buttocks, flex your toes. Back to tabletop, breathe in. And exhale, swing back, straighten the legs. Tabletop, breathe in. Exhale, swing back. Back to tabletop, breathe in. And sit down on your buttocks. And just release there. You can keep your hands behind you, walk your feet away and wide apart. And we'll just windshield wiper the legs. So take the knees over to the left and up and over to the right. So just loosening out through the hips. And then back to center. So from here, two options, particularly if you have any knee issues, this first version or variation is going to be a good option. Take your right leg out to the side, your right leg straight, toes pointing toward the ceiling, and left foot to your inner upper thigh. So you set up for janu shirsasana, but we're going to take a lateral stretch and then a lift. So your right hand could sit down next to your right hip for this lateral stretch, and you just glide the right hand away, left arm reaches up and over. Alternatively, you can run your right hand down your right leg and reach your left arm up and over. Left hand could even sit at the back of your skull to open and brighten your chest to the left. If you have no issues with your knee, you might like to bend your left knee and point your left toes back behind you. So you come into half hero pose. Right legs out straight, toes point toward the ceiling, and then feel free to drop back onto your forearms or come all the way back onto your back. So you find a comfortable position for your body, deep hip flexor stretch here through the top of your left thigh. And wherever you're at, just breathing smooth and deep. Just finding the perfect shape to fit your body here toward the end of your practice. If you're in that lateral stretch, you're going to take the left palm behind you and reach the right arm up toward the ceiling as you raise the hips, point the right toes. Stay there for a couple of breaths. And if you're on your back and you're in half hero, we're just going to come back up. And everyone lowers down to reset for the other side. Janu Sirsasana here or half hero pose. If you come into Janu Sirsasana, right sole of the foot to the inner left leg's out straight. And then just take your lateral stretch. You'll stretch into the right side of your body. And it's important here to try and keep yourself on that lateral plane. The torso leans over to the left without folding forward. Half hero, right knee bends, sole of the foot points back. And you're leaning back any amount, either all the way back or onto your forearms. And it's worthwhile here just lifting your buttocks and bringing your tailbone toward your extended leg. So you just find a little bit more space through the low back spine so the apex of the curve isn't right there pinching in your low back. And if you're in Janu Sirsasana in your lateral stretch, take your right hand behind you now, lift the hips and sway the left arm up and overhead. And settling yourself all back down, coming back up from your half hero if you were there. And we're going to take a cross-legged forward fold. Take your right shin in front of your left shin, a nice loose cross, even on your sit bones, so your weight feels level. Reach the arms, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. And hopefully your hips feel a lot freer and your forward fold feels easeful. And just surrender your weight down. Breathe a calm breath. And just slowly walking yourself back up. And we switch sides. Left shin in front. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. And do remember just to flex your toes here. So pinky toe side of your left foot is pushing into the floor. And your outer heel, your outer ankle is lifting. Toes stay flexed, and that'll help protect the muscles in and around your knees so you don't put pressure in your knees, your forward fold. And one more smooth cycle of breath. And slowly peeling up. And your choice here, we've got a couple of minutes to complete the 60-minute class. Feel free to rest back in Savasana here, laying down on your back, or sit upright to finish with a seated meditation. If you're laying back, get any props that help you to feel comfortable and at ease. Lay your arms alongside your body and a little away from your torso, palms face up. Separate your feet, let them fall out to the sides. And rest your body. Gently scanning your body for any pockets of tension. You can let go now. And let your breath guide you there. Just a little pause at the end of your exhale, so you just stay in that place of surrender. And invite your mind's eye to a single point of concentration. That might be your breath or the sensations you can feel in your body. It might be a mantra or simply the sounds that surround you. Hold your focus, fully present in your body. Your attention sharp. And linger here for just one more minute. If your mind has wandered, gently drag your attention back. Be still. And preparing to move, bring some gentle movement to your body. Breathe a deeper breath. And let the knees bend if you're laying back. Take your feet to the floor. And rest over to your right side. Take a few moments there. Let your eyes adjust to the light in your room. And then just really slowly dragging yourself all the way back up. Namaste.